2. Today I'm joined by Vasco Patello.
Hi, everybody.
How are you doing today, Vasco?
I'm doing well.
Had a good week?
Yep, so far it's good, strong, lots of work to do.
I was going to say, how's the heat treating you? But obviously
you're
used to it by now.
Come on.
Your background.
Heat for me is like, it's life, I suppose.
Makes you sound like a lizard.
Sometimes I do think I am.
So today we're talking about generating leads using content.
Yeah.
And when we say generating leads, this is more about sort of interest. But the first slide I've actually got on here is talking about leads versus relationships, because we used to talk, there's a lot of B2B lead generators, there's LinkedIn lead generation experts out there, but we don't teach that.
Let me tell you a short story.
Go for it.
In a past life I had to generate 1,500,000 leads per month worldwide.
1,500,000
leads per month. That was like crazy.
Is this through marketing campaigns?
Through marketing campaigns.
Right, okay.
Now the thing is, the types of leads and what you do with these leads is just get as much as possible, throw them away. The ones that you can use those ones you can't use, that's it.
So you did used to be a dragon then? You would hoard all these leads up and you would just sit on them and then you would just look at them.
Distribute them around the world where they were needed. The sales teams would use these leads, but they had so many that, there was no relationship. It was just first come, first served sort of thing.
A variety of numbers.
They picked up the phone or they sent a mail or a letter. If they was picked up, great. If not, let's move on. So there was no relationship with that.
Yeah.
With the way that Maverrik teaches how to do things, you create a relationship. Because people do business with people. You can't forget that.
Yeah.
So what we do is create a relationship, nurture the relationship, and then move into a commercial relationship.
Yeah, because content isn't advertising. So if you were to create a banner ad and you put it out there, that's not content. So that's not content lead generation at all. So what we do is we create content so we generate interest in a conversation with us and a relationship with us, rather than just, hey, do you want to buy this? Here's a banner to say you need to buy this.
A lead is a lead. I would consider something that's transactional. So either you want to buy something or you don't.
Yeah,
it's a yes or no, done. With a relationship, you have to nurture it. There's brand loyalty. There's a person's loyalty to you as a person, which you don't get from the other one. So content becomes very, very important, because you show people who you are, what you do, and how you can help them.
It generates the interest in relationship rather than just generating interest for a lead. So that's kind of the first kind of point we want to go through. I've labeled it generating content, generating leads with content, mainly because that's what people are looking for and searching for. When in reality, they shouldn't be searching for just leads. They need to be searching for relationships. They need to be searching for, these conversations to generate business that way. Then you'll get a greater output rather than just doing the churn and burn technique that we always talk about. So you can do that with content. And the first one is to speak the language of the person you want to connect with and talk to.
Let me go back to something which I usually say, which is everything on LinkedIn, for example, comes from your content. So if a person sees your post, and you know that better than anyone, a person sees your post, says, brilliant post. Who the hell is Vasco? So they'll go and check him out. Oh, so this is the guy. Oh, great, And they'll go, oh, he works for Maverrik. Who's Maverrik? So they'll go and check Maverrik.
Yep.
And then from the company page, some traffic is then generated to the website.
Yeah.
So it's a whole process of people following you and seeing what you do. So when you speak their language, it means you're talking to their pain. And people say, this is good. This is what I'm feeling.
Yes, I like the way this guy talking. I like what he's saying.
I want to talk to him.
Yeah, let's find out more about him. Let's talk to him and get in touch with him. And then you develop that interest of, oh, hey, so what do you do? Oh, I do this. Oh, that's great. I'm in need of this. That's a very shortened structure of what it can be. But it can go into a long process of finding out, sometimes they don't even know they've got that pain to begin with, which is why you need that conversation to say, oh, how are your page views? They're not that great, but I don't really think about it. Well, if you thought about it, then you'd be able to get more.
Let's take this to the cold callers. they get a lead, they pick up the phone, they phone, it's a yes or no.
Yeah.
And probably in 90% of the times, it's a no. That's what happens. It's a big fat no. When you do this sort of, let's say, posting and creating the relationship, when you talk to someone, they know you. They know your face, they know what you stand for, they know what you're talking about. So there's no, how could I say, barrier on that. You're talking to a friend.
But this also boils down to not speaking in jargon as well. So you don't, if you're talking to a person about your product and say you're in finance or you're in cybersecurity, if you're using these acronyms that only the people in your industry know, you're going to kind of lose people in the fray. You can't really have a conversation because they'll be like, okay, I kind of get what this is, but at the same time, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, this is a good one for everyone that's listening. Go to your company page and on the About section, read what it says about your company. And it's frequently that I talk to companies, I read their about, and I have to ask them, what do you do?
Yeah.
Okay, and I tell them, look, read the About section of your company page. Tell me if you can understand what you do. And they go, no.
Yeah, if you bring someone in from the street to read this, would they say, oh, okay,
I need them, I need to talk to them. So it becomes critical that your posts talk about what you do in a language that everybody understands.
Amazing, okay. Yes, that is the big point there. And also with the consistent messages is the next point we've got, because if you are flipping between different areas or different styles, it can really make people a little bit afraid to connect with you, because obviously your message isn't consistent. Like if you're not like instilling that belief of what you do and what you sell and what you provide, if you just suddenly change that or change the way it's delivered, it can really confuse people.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because we get lots of people, let's go back to LinkedIn, where they post a number of solutions and products they have. Very confusing message, because sometimes they're totally different. And sometimes, because they want to hit all their target markets, they'll do it in all different languages. So you get it in German, Spanish, French, and sometimes you get a week's posting in German. And if I'm a Brit, I read that and say, oh, I'm not going to waste my time anymore. And they lose out. So you should stick to one language, your target market's language, and you should stick to the product that you want to go into any company where you want to land and expand. That product becomes critical. So talk about that.
So if you're an international company and you want to provide your services to the UK or America, you can speak in English and go through with their company. If you want to go into Germany and maybe you're a Spanish company, you could get an account which speaks German. Have that, bridge that gap for them in a sense.
Well, in a way, it just becomes what's your priority thing, and it's rather than you doing various languages, get someone in the team that will target that country, so he does everything in that language. It becomes more consistent and more effective. Even though nowadays everyone speaks English and it becomes the easiest.
Do you think it's better to have the translation go through their side, or for you to just immediately just post in that language? Do you think it's easier?
I personally would do like I recently saw two companies doing, which is they post in both, so they have the text in both languages.
Right, okay.
So they'll go with the...
in one single post?
In one single post.
Oh, okay.
So it's not long posts, so we're talking about 2 paragraphs.
Right.
So they've got one paragraph in English, then it says translation, and then in the other language. I've seen them doing the one and the other. That makes it much easier. Although I still think you should have one person targeting one country, one language, one message.
I mean, there's translation options, I'd say, on LinkedIn that you could do. But in terms of keeping it consistent, I agree. If you're going to target a certain, either industry or country, you need to obviously speak the language.
Let me just give you an example. This week, I saw a company in Portugal. All the team do their posting in Portuguese because they are working the Portuguese market.
Yep.
The export manager does everything in English. Everything's in English. So they got, they're getting the message right. They're targeting the right places and talking to their own clients.
Fantastic. So next we've got be genuine. This is kind of the flower on the top of the rest of it, isn't it? Because if you are a fake person and you're trying to just hop on social media just for sales or anything else and not actually building relationships, people see through you very, very quickly.
You know, nowadays you how could I say, the internet's become loaded with people. They're trying to be what they're not. So they change everything about themselves, and easily you can look at it. And there's on our website, there is an article about this, about being genuine.
Yeah.
You know, how can you target and see if people are the real people? And you get this stock imagery because people don't like the way they look. They'll get someone that looks similar to them and put it.
Or they'll have robots just continuously putting things out there.
Yeah. So, and you can see, you know, after one or two messages, you can see that there's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
So be yourself. Talk about you being yourself. You know, when people say that LinkedIn is not Facebook, remember, people do business with people.
Yeah, you need to show your personality
So
out there.
show who you are.
So be genuine.
Yeah.
I think it was probably the early to late night noughties, people were posting stuff online with all their wealth. You know, they had like the Lamborghinis. There was that infamous shot of this guy with his big library behind him in his garage. But that kind of flexing isn't popular anymore. Like back in the day on the YouTube ads, you used to be like, oh, I've got this car, this watch, this mansion. Do you want to know how I did it? And then click on this ad. No one, I feel, is actually clicking on that anymore. People want humble, personable people to do business with rather than these, you know.
I don't know if you remember, but, you know, social media wasn't as open as it is today. In the beginning, most of the photos of people on social media were showing their backs, you know, backwards, so you could see the back of their heads, or off a face, or black and white photos where you could only
the selfie filter where it's up the top.
So because everyone was scared of showing who they were because they didn't know what people would do with the image. So in those days, hey, it was like the beginning. Nowadays, why do that?
Now people are making memes out of people, you know, everyone's photoshopping you, all the different stuff.
No, just be genuine, be yourself. People like genuine people. When you make a mistake, say, I made a mistake. I apologize.
Yeah, you can talk frankly with people as well.
Yeah.
It's easier when you're not trying to both be someone you're not during a conversation. So if you're trying to engage with a prospect and they like football and you literally have nothing about it, don't try and talk to them about it because you're just going to end up looking like an idiot, aren't you?
You know, being a South African, when I talk to most clients, I say, look, let's get this right. You don't speak about rugby. I don't speak about cricket. Okay, that's the first thing. Secondly, let's talk about something that unites us.
Yeah, you can find common ground.
And then find the common ground and just talk. And now with the Euro coming on.
Yeah, it's a popular one right now, isn't it?
Like
so it's
mad owls.
I mean, you can look at some results and go, oh, I saw you lost. But if that's the extent of your knowledge, then what's the point in trying to have that conversation? Because soon enough, honestly, the genuineness of it will just drop down and then they'll just be like, okay, you're just trying to talk to me because you want to sell to me.
Basically, you have to remember that you want to do business with people that like you. They want to talk to you. They want your product or your service. So you must make yourself likable and people can relate to you.
Yeah.
So it becomes critical that you do that. And you do that by being genuine and by doing things the proper way.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Vasco, for coming down. And thank you all for watching Maverrik Live. I hope you have a great weekend. Don't forget to subscribe to us as always. And we will see you on Monday for our next show.